with I think it was a 2-stroke lead he had. Jake Knapp finds himself in the water. Enough so, and not deep enough in the water for him to take a drop. He wanted to try and hit it out of it. He's got the one sock. He's got the one bare foot in the water, thinking he's going to be able to hit this shot. You're standing over it. You're Jake Knapp. You've been playing great all week. You've been playing great all weekend. You're about to close this thing out with a ton of money. The Cognizant. You're about to do it. You find yourself with 1 foot in the water, Trent, right? You're standing over that ball, and you're like, so many things can happen in this scenario. Like, this is the moment. I'm either going to get this up, and we're going to get this ball in the hole. It's going to be a miraculous shot. It's going to be all over the highlights, or it's going to end up back at my feet in the water, and we're going to be doing this all again, and I'm probably going to lose the tournament. And it's one swing. It's a big decision. It's one swing. You got to get it done. Unfortunately, he didn't get it out. Ball goes right back into the water. He takes another hack at it. He ends up dropping 3 spots back, or 3 shots back. I think it went into 5th place, I believe it was. Obviously, we had been we were trying to keep up with all of this while we were finishing up our buddy's trip out there at Spanish Bay. Riggs' brother was trying to stream in. We're like doing the whole entire deal. But it was one of those moments where when you saw it, you knew it's just like complete heartbreak. And then also just complete elation for a guy like Highsmith, who has been charging up the leaderboard. And all of a sudden you see that name drop from Knapp all the way up top, right below you. And you're like, here we go.
Tough to go from shooting a 59 on Thursday to blowing it on Sunday. That's just kind of how it goes. You think you're on top of the world, and you are. I mean, you shoot a 59 at PJ National, and I saw some people being like, this is the bear trap. This place is supposed to like be a real test for professional golfers, and to have a guy go out there and shoot 59, it's, it just doesn't feel the same. But I mean, I'm on the side of a 59 is a 59. Wherever you can get it done. And we're rooting for Jake Knapp. We're Jake Knapp guys. We covered him during the Corn Ferry Tour event that we did. Really nice guy. Obviously has a ton of speed. The one of the smoothest swings you'll ever see. Freddie Couples-esque. I know he gets a lot of comparisons to that because of California and the long hair and the smooth swing.
It's just a tough decision, right? Like, this ball's sitting halfway in the water. It's high enough for him to see the ball. So he's obviously having the conversation with his caddy saying, we can get this thing out. You're tied at this point with Highsmith. It was the 10th hole. They're both 18 under. Highsmith's on 14. You're on 11. It's the 11th hole. Like, at that point, you have so many extra holes to go. You have so much more golf to be played. How are you not just going back into the fairway, dropping, and just taking your medicine like that? I know you want to hit the hero shot. I know that it had been a great week. You had shot a 59. You're in the lead. You're tied for the lead. Like, you just want to be able to keep this thing rolling. And when you're on the PGA Tour, to win, you got to do things miraculously. Things aren't just going to come that easy to you. You got to go out and get it. You can't play defensive, especially if you're tied. But my God, man, like, to drop 5 spots back and drop 3 shots on that 11th hole, like, you got to, I know that you have to go and get it, but you also have to stay with everyone that, this is still a horse race. You know what I mean? You got guys chugging along all around you. You got to be able to keep pace.
Yeah, you just got to be confident that somewhere in the final, whatever it was, 7 holes, you're going to make up the shot that you're going to lose on this hole. And that's 100%. What it comes down to. You just, you take a big risk, and hindsight is 20/20, blah, blah, blah. So we obviously know how it went. If he hits a miraculous shot, ends up putting it in, and he doesn't lose a stroke or even makes a birdie or something, like, now we're talking about like, wow, Jake, what about the huge balls on Jake Knapp? But it goes the other way, and we can all Monday morning quarterback it. But I just think, he's such a good player, hits the ball a mile. You got to think somewhere in those last few holes you can find a shot to get back, as opposed to taking the huge risk. But I appreciate the effort. It's, you're taking your shoes off. Like, that's when you're really going for it. When you're on a golf course and you're taking your shoes off and your socks off, that's a guy who's going for it. So I respect that part of it. It just, the ball didn't bounce his way this time. He'll have more chances in the future. Jake Knapp's got an incredibly bright future ahead of him.